It's 5 down, 425 to go, and I will take them down the line if I have to go through 425 judges. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Dr. Richard Fine is looking for one honest judge to nullify the order that put him in jail for 18 months.
Under what we call California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 473, D as in dog, a motion can be brought at any time to set aside a void judgment. That's the motion that I have been bringing since August of 2010.
He was jailed for not complying with Judge David Yaffe's order to pay a $47,000 penalty fee, which Dr. Fine insists Yaffe's judgment was void.
The reason that the judgment is void is because Judge Yaffe was on the take. He took, I think it's $860,000 of money from LA County, who was a party to the case. That makes his judgment void. It was a bribe. Under ordinary circumstances, he would have been thrown out of office under a case called the Adams case, in which they threw Judge Adams out of office, and then Judge Adams was prosecuted by the feds under the intangible right to honest services. That conviction was upheld. I believe he ended up going to federal prison. That is what should have happened to Judge Yaffe.
But what should have happened didn't happen. What was the result?
Every order that Judge Yaffe made was void because of the fact that he took that bribe.
And so Dr. Fine has been trying to get a fair hearing in the Superior Court. 4 judges so far have found a variety of reasons to stop him. We ask him, what is the current status of his case?
Suddenly we have this new judge, Judge Kuehl. Now, Judge Kuehl then comes out with an order saying that all judges are elected officials and no elected official can overrule or decide what another elected official has done. Well, that's total craziness. Number one, there is no law that says that. This is something that she either made up in her head, or it is something that the judges are tending to use when they don't want to make a decision. In fact, it is even against the law.
Dr. Fine gave us a copy of Judge Carolyn Kuehl's order.
So consequently, we'll put it up and let the world see what craziness and stupidity these people are now acting with.
Why are the judges going to such lengths to prevent Dr. Fine from nullifying Judge Yaffe's order?
They know that any order by a judge who has accepted illegal money or any money from a person who is likely to appear in front of them is void. Now, what that means is that any money that any judge took from LA County, where LA County is either a party before them, or LA County is a witness before them, or LA County was likely to appear before them, is going to be void.
This statement has wide-ranging consequences.
That means that every case where any of these possibilities happened, you have void orders and void judgments. And when you have a void judgment, there is no time limit as to when that void judgment can be set aside. So it is up to the lawyer or the individual to come in and have it set aside.
We ask him, does that mean that anyone who has found themselves on the losing end of a case in LA County can come back to court and move to have that order or that judgment set aside, wiped clean, erased, nullified?
That is correct, and I'm putting the word out right here and now and encouraging every person to use their rights and go forward and do this, and to ask their lawyers to do it, And if the lawyers don't do it, the lawyers will be violating their duty to their client to adequately represent their client.
That means if someone has been forced to pay a fine, the county must refund that money, no matter when the fine was imposed or no matter how much money was involved. Once the decision is voided, is there restitution?
Well, once the decision is voided, that means that the decision never took place. And so consequently, if somebody got, the money, or if the county got money from a person, the county's going to have to give that money back because they don't have a right to that money because the court never had jurisdiction to make the award.
Dr. Fine is leading the charge to restore integrity to our judicial system. He says it's up to us. As shown by his particular case, nobody else is going to do it.
The responsibility is now going to fall on the individual people because we've had a total failure of government.
During his incarceration, Dr. Fine sent appeals to all levels of the court and law enforcement to stop the corruption, all to no avail. It's now up to us to reclaim our justice system.
So as much as our government officials have decided to lay back and do nothing and, shall we say, scratch each other's backs and stick it to the people, the method is there for the people to do things. And if we, the people, go forward and exercise our rights, sooner or later, we're going to win.
Dr. Fine is offering his guidance to help everyone who's been victimized by the California court.
Every person who has been the subject of a void judgment can now come in under CCP section 473D and ask to have the order or the judgment set aside.
We asked him if he would make his filing available as a template here on our website to make it easy for people to file to have their case nullified.
Absolutely, it's a model. Someone could go in and use it as a format and go in and do it.
Once again, he emphasized that everybody who has lost a case in the LA Superior Court in the last 20 years can file to have their case nullified.
You're talking about every case where LA County is involved, from eminent domain cases to cases where the county is a plaintiff or a named plaintiff or a defendant, to family law cases where they're using county people with respect to children, to decide custody of children, where they have the county being the evaluators because Title IV money goes into the county, and you have the county being intimately involved in these custody decisions and child support decisions, all the way into criminal cases. Because you have the county coming in, you've got the sheriff's department coming in and testifying in the criminal cases.
He has shown the way to reverse the corruption for the last 20 years. All people need to do is follow his example.
People will have a path to follow. Then people who want to follow that path and who really want change will be able to exercise their rights and take that change. It's the old thing that you can lead a horse to water, you can't make the horse drink. All people who sincerely want to have change will do something about it. Hopefully, my contribution is that I have shown them a path to be able to get around the intransigence of the judges, the intransigence of the Attorney General and our local U.S. attorneys, the intransigence of the Jerry Browns, who've been the state attorneys generals, and the Cooleys, who are the district attorneys. All these people have stymied us. But that hasn't stopped us. And my contribution is to show the path. Now that path is available for people to take it And if they want to take it, and if they want change, and sincerely want change, it is now easy to accomplish. There is no longer the excuse, oh, it's too hard, what are we going to do? I can't afford the attorney, or the attorney won't do it. Those excuses are gone. Now we have a very simple way of doing it. You bring a motion to set aside a void judgment. And the reason for the motion is the judge was on the tape.
Dr. Fine explains the simple process of how to use his template.
You go to the county, you get the amount of money that the judge has received, you plug it in, and away you go. It's as simple as that.
Dr. Fine is continuing to implement his own template to further his case.
I just file a notice of resetting the hearing, and I will reset the hearing in Department 85 because I've been informed that Department 85 illegally never moved the file to Department 1. So I'll reset it in Department 85, and I will demand that it be heard by a judge who has not received any money from the county. If they give me a judge who's received money from the county, I'll immediately have him or her disqualified, and we will just keep going, and I'll just knock them off judge by judge by judge by judge. Sooner or later, we're at 425 now. Sooner or later, we will be down to 0. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's mathematics now. It's just a question of how long it'll take. But in the end, I will prevail, and we will prevail.
But the judges aren't just going to roll over and give in to Dr. Fine.
So they have an interest, and a very, very major interest for both their jobs, their financial security, and their freedom to do everything they possibly can to stop me from enforcing the law and getting Judge Yaffe's void order set aside.
Dr. Fine is playing hardball with the judges, who are among the most powerful people in our society. It's a wonder that he is so optimistic about his chances of getting the judges to relent.
I have no doubt sooner or later I will prevail. It's just a question of how long I live and how long they stay in office. That is really the clock that we're dealing with. And my father died at 96 in his sleep. I'm 71, so I've got 25 years to go. I don't think they've got 25 years left, as any of these judges have 25 years left on the bench.
Dr. Fine has been fighting the judges for 10 years. They have destroyed his finances, taken away his livelihood by disbarring him, and jailed him for 18 months in the solitary coercive confinement in the notorious Los Angeles County Men's Central Jail. As shown by every appeal he filed while in jail, the corruption seems to infect every level of our justice system, all the way up to our U.S. Supreme Court. That is what Dr. Fine is opposing.
On the other side, you have little old me, who is going to keep coming. If you go back to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and they keep looking at the people that were coming after them, and they say, who are these guys? I'm those guys. I will keep on coming and keep on coming. And we have 430 judges. We've knocked off 5 of them. It's 5 down, 425 to go. And I will take them down the line if I have to go through 425 judges. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what's going to happen.
He ended his interview with a meaningful analogy.
As far as the judiciary is concerned, it's no longer a dying animal. It is a dead animal. It is just a question of removing the carcass.
Full disclosure will provide you with the contact information where you can find out how much your California judge has been taking from LA County. And if you decide to disqualify your judge and null and void the judge's order in your case, please send a copy of what you file with the court along with the case number to Full Disclosure at the address below so we can follow your case. Please let us know what you think. Is it time for the citizens to join with Dr. Fine and hold the judges accountable? Please be sure to leave your comments below.